Hello everyone and welcome to Sit with Wit. Today we will highlight Amanda Green, local author and writer of today's story, Jackson's Cucumbers. We will also highlight main character. The main character is who the story is mostly about. Are you ready to get started? Okay then, let's begin. Have you ever felt like something great was going to happen? That's exactly how Jackson felt as he rolled out of bed early on a Saturday morning. It was the first day of summer, and Jackson had a summer goal. On the last day of school, Jackson's teacher, Miss Mack, asked, "What are your plans for the summer, Jackson?" Jackson replied, "I am going to be a farmer and grow cucumbers." Jackson was so excited about growing cucumbers. Jackson thought about the day before how some kids laughed at him because they had never heard of an 8-year-old farmer. However, Jackson was determined, and his mom was also determined to help him accomplish his goal of becoming a farmer and growing cucumbers. Right after Jackson ate lunch that day, his mom drove him to the local depot to buy cucumber seeds, potting soil, flower pots, and a small white fence. Jackson learned from the internet what he needed to start a garden, so he knew exactly what to purchase. As soon as Jackson got home, he put on his farmer outfit and quickly went to work. Jackson dumped the cucumber seeds into several flower pots and covered the seeds with potting soil. It had to be about 30 seeds total. Jackson was anxious to see how many cucumbers he could grow. Jackson watered his cucumber seeds every day. He learned from the cucumber package that it would take 50 to 70 days to grow cucumbers. Jackson had a plan. Once the cucumber seeds sprouted into a plant, he was going to remove the plants from the flower pots and bury them in the ground for the cucumbers to continue to grow from his garden. After about 4 weeks of watering his cucumber seeds, Jackson finally saw small leaves in his flower pots. Jackson was so excited and yelled for his mom to come see his small plants. Jackson's mom quickly came outside to see what the excitement was about. It was now time for Jackson to uproot his plants from the flower pots and bury them in the ground to start his garden. Jackson's mom helped him find the perfect location in the yard and watched how happy Jackson was as he watered his cucumber plants. Jackson was smiling from ear to ear because he was hopeful that he would have cucumbers very soon. After about 2 months, Jackson discovered he had 6 yellow flowers, each housing tiny cucumber bulbs. Jackson was so anxious for his cucumbers to grow bigger. He even moved his white fence further away from his garden to give it more room to grow. Jackson continued to water his garden daily. One morning, Jackson woke up bright and early and ran outside to check on his cucumbers. Jackson was so eager, he was still wearing his striped green pajamas. A few days had passed since he watered his cucumbers, but Jackson was still happy and hopeful that his cucumbers would be bigger by now. To Jackson's surprise, he only had 4 out of 6 cucumbers remaining. Just in a few days, 2 tiny cucumbers had fallen off the plant and died. Jackson could not understand how his cucumbers were dying and not growing. Jackson quickly ran inside to tell his mom the bad news. Jackson's mom couldn't explain to Jackson why the 2 cucumbers had died, but she reminded him to stay happy and hopeful and everything would be all right. It was hard for Jackson to be happy or hopeful. Jackson was so distraught that when he tried getting dressed, he forgot to take off his pajama pants. Jackson kept watering his cucumbers, but after 1 week, he discovered another cucumber had died. Jackson now had only 3 tiny cucumber bulbs remaining. Jackson was now worried and knew he had to figure something out quickly before all of his cucumbers died. His mom's voice echoed in his head. Stay happy and hopeful. The next morning, Jackson began to research ways to save his last 3 tiny cucumbers. He started with Google and typed in the search box, "How to make cucumbers grow." Amongst the information that Jackson found, he learned that cucumbers not only needed a lot of water, but required pollination. Jackson also learned that in order for pollination to take place, he needed bees. Jackson ran to his mom with excitement. Mom, I figured it out. We need bees." Jackson's mom said, "Calm down, Jackson. Why do we need bees?" However, Jackson could not calm down because he had just learned how to save his last 3 cucumbers. According to Google, the bees will transfer pollen from the female flower to the male flower for the cucumbers to grow bigger. Jackson led his mom outside to his garden. "See, Mom, we need bees to pollinate the yellow flowers in order for the cucumbers to grow." "But Jackson, we do not have bees. How about I take you to the depot first thing in the morning so we can see what we need to attract bees?" "Yes, Mom, you're the best." The next morning, Jackson and his mom made a trip to the local depot. Jackson's mom could barely turn off the ignition in the car. Jackson hopped out of the car and found the first garden employee. "Excuse me, sir," Jackson yelled. "Yes, young man. How may I help you?" asked the garden employee. Jackson was so distracted by the colorful flowers, he walked right past the garden employee while talking. Jackson was talking 50 miles per hour. "My cucumbers died, no bees, and..." It sounded like a bunch of gibberish, but oddly, the garden employee understood exactly what Jackson was trying to say, and he knew exactly what Jackson needed. He handed Jackson the most beautiful golden potted flower with a sticker that read, "Evening Primrose." "Here you go, young man. These will surely bring the bees and even butterflies." Jackson quickly purchased 6 potted beautiful yellow flowers and returned to his car where his mom was waiting. After Jackson made it home, he quickly changed it to one of his favorite farmer outfits and planted the evening primrose flowers right next to his cucumber plants. Jackson made sure the flowers had plenty of water. After about 2 weeks, Jackson woke up bright and early and felt like something great was about to happen. Jackson ran outside while still wearing his blue pajamas and discovered he had 3 healthy, growing cucumbers. He even poked at the friendly bees and butterflies dancing across his entire garden. Jackson quickly got dressed and began taking pictures of his garden to share on his Instagram page. Jackson's mom monitored Jackson's Instagram page for safety reasons since he was so young. In a matter of 1 hour, Jackson had more than 50 likes and over 20 positive comments on his Instagram post. His favorite comment of them all was left by his teacher, Miss Mack. "Great job, Farmer Jackson. I love your cucumbers." Miss Mack's comment made Jackson's day. Farmer Jackson continued to nurture his beautiful garden, which now had 4 healthy growing cucumbers. Jackson was full of joy because he had finally accomplished his goal of becoming a farmer. Pop quiz. Who is the main character of the story? A. Jackson, B. Hunter, or C. Michael? If you answered A. Jackson, you are correct. What is the story mostly about? A. Football, B. Gardening. C. Swimming. If you answered B. Gardening, you are correct. What was Jackson's goal? A. Become an astronaut and travel to space. B. Become a farmer and grow cucumbers. C. Become a doctor and help others. If you answered B. Become a farmer and grow cucumbers, you are correct. Be sure to purchase your copy of Jackson's Cucumbers today, as well as follow Amanda Green on social media. I hope you enjoyed today's story. Who knows, maybe one day you will start a garden of your very own. Well, that's all I have for you today. Until next time, bye.